What do you think? We talked a little bit about, where you're at in life and trying to buy a house, trying to do these things, put down roots. Um, what have you seen in that journey that we need to change about our state to make things easier for that generation and encourage folks to stay in Maine and put down those roots, especially folks who may not be as committed to Maine as you are?
Well, I mean, I'm sure as you know, and a lot of Mainers know, we have a lot of snowbirds.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's not familiar with it, it's people who have a house in Maine. They come here from May to October and then go to Florida as soon as snow hits or it gets too cold.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people have these second homes that aren't being used, which is taking away from the houses that my generation can buy. So I don't even know how you'd fix that, but I just know that's one of the problems.
Are you going to find a snowbirder and convince them to move full time to Florida so you
Yeah.
can buy their house?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you think, I sit there in my seat in Augusta and I hear, well, we need more housing. So that means the government needs to build more housing, or the government needs to fund more housing, or, or whatnot. From my perspective, I think we need to free up the market so that folks like you who are wanting to build, wanting to buy, can do it easier so that there are less barriers in the way. Have you run into any barriers besides the fact that, housing costs are through the roof? As you look forward to maybe building your own home, is there anything that sticks out to you that you go, gosh, I'm not looking forward to dealing with that?
Probably the interest rates. I know they've come down a little bit, but I mean, what are they? 6%, 5%? I mean, my parents locked in at 2, which is pretty significant when you're talking about a $500,000 house that a lot
Sure.
of these houses are going for right now. 2%.
Did you ever think you'd be saying $500,000 house?
When I was a kid thinking $500,000 house, I was thinking like a mansion.
A
Now
mansion.
it's just like, oh, it's
Yeah.
just a little townhouse.
Oh, it's just like a 2-bedroom with it's remarkable.
Yeah. But I mean, home prices, so you buy a $500,000 house at a 2% interest rate. That's a pretty, you can make that payment. That's not a bad payment. At 6%, now you're looking at, $4.5, $5,000 a month for the same house, just a different interest rate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, interest rate, there are so many things that go into being able to make that payment.
Yeah.
And one doozy in there is your property taxes.
Yeah.
This statistic might surprise you, but when you look at property tax versus income, like having that as a comparison, Maine has higher property taxes than New Hampshire. In fact, the highest property taxes in the country. And it's just one more of those things that encourages folks. That's a barrier to buying a home when you know that your property taxes are going to be, so much, and you're paying that every month, or you're saving up and paying it every 6 months, whatever the case may be. These property taxes are keeping young folks out of their homes, and they're also pushing our seniors out of their homes. And so, I think that increased level of taxation is certainly a barrier that I would like to see significantly decreased, so that we do have folks able to afford to build, buy, maintain their house.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, Maine statistically has higher property taxes than New Hampshire, because New Hampshire has no sales tax. And Maine's 5.5.
Yeah. Oh, and also New Hampshire has no income tax.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're comparing things here and looking at this state which has no income tax, no sales tax, and our property taxes are higher, and we have an income tax and a sales tax. You have to be struck by, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah. And I don't think the solution to that is, we'll just raise your taxes, help pay for all this stuff. No, we gotta look at what we're spending our money on.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing.